What's up guys, this is Austin, otherwise known as Thelostcausekid. I'm here with my first playthrough video, and I have decided to go with Dark Souls 3. I am a very big Dark Souls fan, and I wanted to go with a game or game series that I am familiar with for my first video, just because I know it's probably going to be a little bit awkward trying to figure out how to talk while playing a video game. So going with something I'm a little bit more comfortable with. I am not an expert at this game. I'm not, a pro Dark Souls player. I'm just a fan of the series. I've always enjoyed them. I've gotten a lot of entertainment from them. I know a little bit of the confusing, convoluted lore, but I'm going to die a lot. It's not going to be a perfect run through, and I'm probably going to get a lot of the story plots wrong, so bear with me. Like I said, this is my first playthrough video. Hopefully it's somewhat entertaining for you guys to watch, but let's just dive right in with a new game here.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Alright, here we go. Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Like I said, I have played this game before. I've beaten it once, beaten the main story once. I haven't done any of the DLC. I still don't currently have the DLC downloaded. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to get through the main storyline and then potentially do the DLC. I haven't heard very good things about the DLC though. I'm just gonna start off as a knight. It's kind of a basic class. Something easy to play. Like I said, I'm not a pro at these games. We're gonna use the Sovereignless Soul. Give us a little bit of a soul boost to level up a couple extra times to start. Alright. Let's go with the standard looking dude. See what we want our dude to look like. Yeah, I like that haircut. Give him a funky looking haircut. Yeah. Nice little bob cut. Some red hair. There we go. There we go. That's a good look for him. Give him a full beard. So, obviously this is the third game in the Dark Souls series. Well, actually it's the fifth game in what is known as the Soulsborne series. Most people, damn it, fuck it, he's gonna have a blonde beard, I don't feel like doing all that. Most people like the first one the best. That's the same for me. If I had to rank the Souls series, in my opinion, it's Dark Souls 1, then I put Dark Souls 2, and then I put Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls 3. A lot of people didn't like Dark Souls 2. I actually really liked it. I thought about doing it for this first playthrough, doing a Scholar of the First Sin run through, but decided to go with Dark Souls 3. I don't really know why I decided to go with Dark Souls 3, but that's what I went with, and that's what we're doing. But yeah, I actually, Dark Souls 3 is my least favorite of the series. It's still a very good game, and I still enjoy it. I just didn't like it as much as the other ones. That's nothing to say about the look of this game. This game is beautiful. It's definitely the best looking game they made. The skyboxes alone in this game are just incredible, and we'll see one pretty early on in this opening area. Up from the grave rises the champion of Ash. Alright. See, I've been playing first-person shooters for about a month now, so I'm gonna have to get used to these controls. It's gonna be sloppy, probably. Yep. Shield. I need to... See, I just tried to click the thumbstick to run. Oh boy. I don't remember where all the items are, or where the important items are, so I'm gonna try to pick up everything that I remember. I forgot that this game's all about managing your stamina bar. Very important. Can't hit a backstab. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to hitting backstabs, because that's very important to this game. That's how you do most of your damage. There you go. The sweet spot that you gotta hit to hit those backstabs. And it seems like the sweet spot is not actually behind the guys, it's more like kind of to the side of their back, which is interesting. I don't know if that's actually true, but it feels that way. Alright. Okay, yep. I forgot about this guy. Fuck. This guy's a bitch. Scary looking dude. Ah, whoops. Area of effect. Crystal attacks. Okay. I'm gonna heal real quick. Look. Oh. Whoa. I was lucky. He went right over the top of me. Crystals. I forget what he drops. I'm sure it's some kind of Titanite. But Titanite is the upgrade material for your weapons in this game. Damn, I have my shield up and it still freaking did damage to me. Oh. Well, he's almost a half health. Yeah, so this series is infamous for its difficulty. So that's why I'm in a starting tutorial area and there's this way overpowered enemy. But that's kind of the fun of it, is taking new challenges and learning the enemy's pattern and, you know, getting a sense of accomplishment. It's not just like mowing down mindless, weak enemies, you know? You've actually gotta be patient and... Oh shit, staggered him. Yeah, you gotta get... When they stagger like that, you gotta get in front of them and you do like a critical attack that does a lot more damage. But it wasn't close enough to get the stagger in, I wasn't expecting it. I should actually... Oh! Shit. Almost down. One more hit. Don't do something stupid. The dangerous part is when you get them low, because... There you go. When you get them low, you get cocky and you try to get at them like one extra hit, and then you get... Then they combo you and you're dead right away. So you gotta be careful. But yeah, Titanite scale, it's like a... It's actually kind of useless at this point in the game. You can't really use it till later, but it's an upgrade material. It's a... There's certain weapons that use different types of Titanite to upgrade, so I actually won't see one of those weapons for a while. Here comes one of those skyboxes I was talking about. Dun, dun, dun. Check this out. Is this not a beautiful game? It's dark, but at the same time it's very pretty. And what's crazy is that that's not a backdrop. That is a place I am going. Gonna go through these ruins, and I will be there. So that is the map of the game. That's all backdrop, but yeah, that's playable right there. All explorable, so really impressive. So these bonfires kind of serve as checkpoints for anyone who doesn't know. When you die, you reset to the last bonfire you rested at. But you lose all of your souls, which is that number bottom right-hand corner there. You lose them all unless, and then you've got to get back to your bloodstain where you died to retrieve them. Why did I just heal? Damn it. I tried to reload my gun. I hit square to reload my gun. That's how much of Destiny I've been playing. I'm gonna try this again, not waste a Estus flask. Oop. So, you can actually parry these guys. I'm not good at it at all. See, I missed really bad. I am so bad at parrying. Good lord. I'll show you what it looks like. God, I'm bad at that. See if I can get in one parry. Damn it. Shit. I just want to show you the parry animations because they're cool. Damn it. Alright, I got it. Right here. The timing is specific. Good lord. I'm so bad at parrying. Good God. Alright, never mind. Screw that. Don't laugh at me. I know that was bad. Alright, here we go. Damn it! I think this is just a bad shield for it, too. There it is. See, it's kind of satisfying whenever you actually get it, but whew, I'm bad at it. If you can get the parry timing down, this game isn't too difficult. Like, there are some enemies that you can't parry, but it really makes these beginning areas super simple. Alright, come here. There's actually an item here. You gotta make a jump to it. I'm not very good at this jump. Let's see if I can... Oh god, I gotta remember how to jump. Is it click? Yeah. Click the thumbstick. In Dark Souls 1, you had to double tap the sprint button to jump, so... It's a little different here, and... Did I make it? Nice. See, that Titanite shard is the upgrade material you need for early upgrading, so that's a good item to get. Plunging attack! It's so cool when you hit those. Oop. You can dodge these arrows all day. Come on, shoot me. Yep. One more. One more. Yep. Yeah, see. These guys are trivial. I want to show you guys something if you haven't played here, a little trick. There's actually some fire bombs down here, which are useful for the next boss if you're struggling with them. But if you come down, there's a path down that way, but you've got to go through this shielded spear guy and this guy that's backing him up. So what I usually do is come around the back, hit this guy with a plunging attack, and then you just gotta worry about this guy. I know having a shield is kind of easy mode, but like I said, there's not really a right or wrong way to play this game. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. The shield is definitely an easier way to handle some of these situations, but you know, some of the really difficult encounters in this game, a shield isn't very helpful. So I mean, there's no shame in using a shield. Ooh, if this doesn't look like a boss arena. That tree. There's a lot of trees in this game. Like, and I know that there's a lot of trees in every game, but the trees have something to do with the story here. Coffin. Potentially his coffin. This guy here. Alright, here we go. Boss number 1. Thelostcausekid. Oh god. This is one of the few parryable bosses, but I'm not even gonna try that. Whoa! Good lord. It's all about timing your hits. Oh, he's got reached for days. All about timing your hits. Oh my god, that reach. Oh, fuck. Oh! I'm gonna top off some health. I like to stay topped off, because... Oh, good thing I had my shield up. That was a bitch. No! Oh, God. Can't believe he didn't stagger me. Oh, no! I forgot about this part. This is phase 2, where a giant fucking thing comes out of his back. I can't see where I'm at. Oh my god, I can't see. Oh, I forgot. Oh. Typically, you just gotta try to stay behind him. Oh god. Oh no. A couple more hits. Watch us jump. One more hit. Time it. Right. Don't get greedy. Alright, got him. It's all about not being greedy. You try to go in for one too many hits at the right time, and you're gonna die, and you gotta start all over. So, it's the name of the game is patience. So a lot of the storytelling is done through item descriptions in this game. So typically when you get something, you know, that looks important, it never hurts to read it, just to get a little bit more backstory. Sword missing from the shrine bonfire, cannot be equipped as a weapon. Thrust into the shrine bonfire to restore its power and enable travel between bonfires. This sword is only bequeathed to chosen Ash, as judged by Eudix, who awaits the arrival of Ash as a scabbard. So, we just beat Eudix and got this sword, so he kind of stood as a, you know, a test for chosen Ash, which is what we are. You can kind of see these embers that are on me right now. That's because we're chosen Ash. And we just passed our first test, and we were bequeathed the coiled sword that we have to plunge into a bonfire. So this is that area that we saw in the distance before, and we're here now. There's something about the world design in this game that is interesting. It makes things seem farther away than they actually are. So, and then you get there, and you turn back and see where you came from, and it looks like you traveled 1,000 miles. But it's kind of cool the way they do that. See this guy. Huh. I wonder if you can get him to swing at his own guy and hurt him. No, they just go through it. Kick. That's a good way to deal with the shield guys, is just to do a little Sparta kick. And you do that by pushing forward and hitting the attack button at the same time. Homeward Bone. Let's look at the item description on those real quick. Bone fragment reduced to white ash. Return to last bonfire used for resting, or to the shrine bonfire. Bonfires are sustained by bones of the undead. In rare cases, their previous owners' strong urge to seek bonfires enchants their bones with the homeward instinct. So these have been a staple for the series since Dark Souls 1. I think they were in Dark Souls 2. I'm pretty sure they were. But you use them to return to the last bonfire you rested at without losing your souls. It's a good way to get out of sticky situations, but they're basically the bones of other undead, basically other player characters, and the undead's need to seek out bonfires basically enchants their bones so that anyone who uses them, which I guess the act of using them is to either consume them or like ground them up, can return you to a bonfire. So bonfires are very important in this game. So these guys are just kind of trash, so you can usually just swing through their attacks pretty easily. But it never hurts to be careful. See, that's the bonfire. You can actually see it just in the distance there that we came from. See how it looks super far away, but we didn't travel that far. Doesn't feel like, at least. You know, so there's been a lot of Dark Souls playthroughs and lore experts, so, you know, I'm probably not going to say anything new, especially for people who are familiar with the series, but, you know, that's not the point of this. The point of this is just to, you know, have fun playing games and, you know, talk about stuff. So if I'm ever saying anything wrong in some of these videos, you know, don't hold that as fact in any way, and, you know, let me know if I'm wrong about something. 'Cause I just like to learn. I just like this series. I think the way they tell narrative in these series is very interesting. So I'm always ready to learn something new. You can round the corner from the other way, and this dog will pop out at you. And the first time it happened, it scared the living shit out of me. Just like that, just pops out. Oh, see ya. Bye bye, doggy. Yeah, there's zombie dogs, and they're frustrating, especially if they team up on you. Firelink Shrine. So this is tribute to the hub area or home world in the original Dark Souls game. Firelink Shrine is a famous name in the Dark Souls universe. And here we meet our first NPC.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think? What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends, those who would link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
So that's Hawkwood. He plays the part of the Crestfallen Warrior, which is a staple for all the Souls games. We'll learn more about his backstory as we proceed, but basically he's a former member of the oh god, I can't even think of the friggin' name right now. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but there's a boss that we fight later, and he was a part of the group. Farron's Legion, sorry. He is a part of that group, and he basically couldn't cut it. So he chills into the Firelink Shrine and feels sorry for himself. Hence why he is a Crestfallen Warrior. He gave us an emote, which these can be fun. I gotta remember how to do them. He just gave us Collapse. So basically you can different emotes for your character, which is fitting for his Crestfallen Warrior status. The Collapse emote, kind of admitting defeat. But we are not ready to collapse. Let's talk to this lady here. She's very important.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Ashen One, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen One, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen One, to be unsovereign, I will Ashen One.
So she's our firekeeper. Basically, bonfires need a firekeeper, and I don't know the full lore behind it, but it's basically their job is right in the title. They are they keep the fires. Each bonfire has a firekeeper, and each champion of Ash has a firekeeper that looks after their bonfire. That's basic gist of it, I believe, and like I said, I could be way wrong, but that's what I got from it. She was actually in the opening cinematic. You can tell from the mask that she has over her eyes. You see that in the opening cinematic. So she's important. She's actually where we level up to, so we're gonna go ahead and do that a couple times.
Produce the coiled sword at the bonfire.
And she's telling us how to proceed.
The mark of Ash will guide thee to Thelostcausekid. Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls. Let these souls withdrawn from their vessels,
So these are all the different stats. Vigor kind of affects your HP. Attunement affects your FP, and you know how many spells you can cast before resting. Endurance affects your stamina. Vitality affects your equip load, and how much you can have equipped. Strength affects your the damage you do with strength weapons. Dexterity affects the damage you do with dex weapons. Intelligence affects the strength of your sorceries. Faith is linked to your miracles, and luck affects item discovery. I think we're going to run a strength character that kind of goes well with the sword and board that I'm running, so I'm gonna pump this up to 17 and pop this. I'm gonna drop this 16 and make both of these 13. Kind of give us some balance there. So different weapons that you find are going to have different stat requirements for you to use them properly.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
So this is our equipment that we have here. You'll see our equipment load up there. We're using 33.3 out of 55, and our weight ratio, we're using 60.5% of our equip burden. The higher that percentage, it actually affects your roll speed. So right now I think we're doing, I think this is a medium roll. Yeah, this is like a medium speed roll right here. And I'll show you how the equipment can affect this. I take all my armor off and I'm at 13.6% with my funky hairdo. I think it's a little bit faster. Yeah, it's a little bit faster. So that's kind of like your fast roll. I think they call it ninja rolling. And then if I were to throw all this equipment on plus some extra equipment. If I have any extra equipment. I have a broken sword. Anyway, I don't have the equipment now. Yeah, it's a little bit slower. But I don't have the equipment, but if you go over 70%, I think, equip burden, they call it fat rolling, and it's hard to roll around and avoid damage, so I'll show you that once we get some more equipment. This is the Shrine Handmaiden. This is kind of our vendor for the Firelink Shrine.
To make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
Characters love to laugh at you after they talk. So she basically just said, yo, go kill stuff, get their souls, and bring them to me. Souls are like the currency in this world. We can look at some of the stuff she sells. This is really important, especially if you want to do some co-op, so I'm going to grab this. This lets you go into other people's worlds and help them with bosses or areas, and just do some co-op. That's fun. I'm gonna get a torch, which will be useful later. Everything else, we don't really need it. We're not gonna run any sorceries, so we don't really need any of this stuff. And most of the stuff you're gonna find out in the world pretty early. Her inventory expands later on in the game. You pick up ashes out in the world and bring them back to her, and she actually gets more stuff for you to buy. This guy, Andre the Blacksmith. I always want to say Andre the Giant. His name is Andre, and he's a blacksmith. He just happens to be big, like a giant. He is our blacksmith. He upgrades our weapons, so we'll talk to him.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust? A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
So this is where we use our Titanite. If we had more, we only have one. We need two to do anything, but you upgrade your weapons here. they get more powerful, obviously. You also can reinforce your Estus Flask, give you more heals. And you can change whether you want healing or force points Estus, but we're not going to really use force points, so we're going to pump those into healing for now. You can always change it later.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. There are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down.
Hurrah emote. It's a good one.
Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned.
The sword is actually clipping through his chest, just stabbing him with each hit of the hammer.
Oh, by the by, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh? Weapons and protect, but when they're used, but they take so.
Alright, so it's a blacksmith.
Be careful.
A little bit of trivia. I didn't mention, he is a Dark Souls 1 character. He is one of the first friendly characters you meet in Dark Souls 1. He's a blacksmith as well, so he's kind of a staple for the series. For some reason, he's here in Dark Souls 3. There's not really a good lore explanation for that. He was actually supposed to be a much more important character in Dark Souls 1. There's a bunch of cut content with him where he helps open up a secret area that I guess they took out of the game. But his role in the series was just limited to being a blacksmith. And he's actually the only character or NPC in the game with mouth animations. So when he talks, his mouth moves.
Well met. 'Tis good to see ye in good health. What needs?
No other.
Be careful. I don't.
No other characters in the game have that animation. So that was the case in Dark Souls 1. That's the case in Dark Souls 2. I don't really know why that is. And that's just how it is. There's one more guy we need to talk to here, and we'll probably wrap up this part 1 of the Dark Souls 3 playthrough. This is Ludleth of Corland.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver. No need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus.
That's such a good line.
Treat the firekeeper not with discourtesy. She is much like thee, prisoners both, kept to link the fire.
I may be but small, but I will die a colossus. So Ludleth here is a Lord of Cinder, which is... we are going after the Lord of Cinders to bring them back to their thrones to link the fire once again. You see there are 5 thrones. The Lords of Cinder, 3 of them were mentioned in the opening cinematic. You had Aldred's Saint of the Deep. His throne is this one, with the candles surrounding it. And then you had the Watchdogs of Farron, who is that throne there, with the swords around it. And then you have Yorm the Giant, with the giant throne right there. So our goal is to get them back to their thrones because they've deserted them. They've deserted their duty to link the flame and save the world from an everlasting darkness. But Ludleth here, who, if you look at him, he doesn't look like he'd be able to link the flame. So, you know, actually, how he actually did that is something to discuss. I don't have a lot of detail on it. So I'd like to hear your opinions on how someone... it doesn't look like he has legs, the way he's sitting. How someone like him would be able to link the flame. Because that's very difficult to do. But, yeah, just that line, I may be but small, but I will die a colossus, is resonating. And kind of a theme for this series. And you'll notice that 5th throne, I won't spoil that, but there is a 5th Lord of Cinder. So, I think that's going to be it for this first part. I don't want to run this too long, and this is kind of a good stopping point. I'm going to come back and do part 2, and head to the high walls of Lothric for our first proper area. Alright, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for watching, guys.